um, but he's pretty awesome. And the other, we have another one, Jasmine, who you met probably a couple times in the. You probably met Jasmine a couple times as well in the fireside chats. She's one of our data scientists. So it's just first of all, I'll go over some quick updates about how Steady State is going and changes we're doing to make sure everyone's on the same page. We're still very early in a growing community. We don't have a token yet, and that's purposeful. And we're looking to build. So it's still a very early stage project. We are building an eco. So I think the best way to start is to just kind of go over updates. We've been very busy on the dev side. So we'll start with that real quick. Is Tyler can maybe speak a little more what they're doing, but a lot of our focus the last 2 months has been a lot of dev work, a lot of designing, and then really putting together everything we're building to make sure we can put it out to the public as a clear design of everything coming together. Our kind of goal, we've been doing a lot of base dev to get a lot of the concepts tested. We've been talking about, or I've been talking about for God knows how long at this point, and really getting the dev work done to prove these models as effective. And on top of that, what we're doing is we're really starting to, we're going to be sitting down over this next month, and now that we have a lot of the concepts put together, and we're going to be making technical documents to be able to start distributing over everything's being done. Not all the code is in developed for a lot of the base product, but most of it, a decent amount have. I would say about 40-50% has been developed and is being tested right now, and we'll be evolving out from these concepts. What has been built originally were these coverage pools. The index pools have been built, and those are kind of the key concepts that have been built on the automation side of our model. And basically now we're building a couple other things as well to really keep expanding the model. And I can maybe let Tyler go over some updates there about where we're at and kind of where we're going, and then what the impact on like everything else happening. I'll let you start, Tyler.
Yeah, so I'm a dev on the smart contract side. Jasmine basically handles our database work currently, so I can't speak too much on that. But for the smart contracts, we've gotten the base contracts written for the insurer pools, which are the people that insure protocols, and then the insured pools, which are the protocols themselves getting insured. So we have the basics for that and the index pools done. Now we kind of just have to work on making sure everything is correct and safe, and also the automatic triggers, which isn't the biggest priority for us right now, but ideally we'd like to get one or two semi-decentralized options for determining if policies should be paid out or not.
Yeah, and our focus from here on out, like over the next couple of weeks, is we're actually writing out the technical documents to distribute. Our CTO isn't here, but I will say he's killer. He's very brilliant and doing a great job. So, when Steady State was really concepted as an idea of how, and it's very much evolved from this original idea, was around March of 2021. That was, me in a college dorm, being hired to build a design. With my background actually being in insurance prepared me well to actually create and design something interesting. When Steady State was built or designed as a DeFi protocol, the big push we got from a lot of different partners is to really to really market first and to build a token and get it out, which is very normal in crypto. But our our thoughts really about how we've really transitioned our beliefs and this caused a lot of pushovers is we believe the best way we think to get steady state we believe is a high potential project if we build this right. And so we want to make sure we're designing it right and we're doing all the right steps to get us there. So the kind of the big changes we're doing now is we're really prioritizing a lot of focus on devs instead of marketing, which we think is a very, very good move for the company and how we're developing the startup. We have a really exceptional dev team that's starting to evolve and grow as well, and they're doing a lot of great work on that end. And we want to make sure we build a really, really good product. For some of you guys on this call, you've heard, we're raising capital, but it's tough to hear back. We are making adjustments to do that, and we will be basically, we've changed a lot of terms, and we will be pushing off probably. We will be probably doing a raise soon. How that's going to work is kind of confusing on our end, but we're really going to try to make sure we bring in early people in like that have been really supportive, like Stapso who's on the call, and JB as well, and others. And we want to make sure we can try to figure out how to squeeze everyone in. Also, what this kind of means for how the product is going to develop and evolve is we want to actually launch a token after the product is developed. We think, and this is going on what we have here, is I believe the token, as a concept and as a tool, is actually one of those powerful things in all of DeFi and crypto, for a project. It bolsters communities. It creates new kinds of value adds. It creates new kinds of strategies to impact. And what's really important, not just than the token, is actually something that is when you release a token. What we're seeing in a lot of different trends is when DeFi was started as still a concept before it was unproven. I think a great example is Barnbridge. They wrote a white paper, they raised a small seed round, and then they launched token, and then they built devs. They had devs and build. But we're seeing a lot of projects now trying to ship as much as possible before they do a token. They release a token and trying to get as much out there as possible to prove the value. What's really powerful about a token is its ability to be used as a utility in an ecosystem to strengthen certain parts of the ecosystem, and also its ability to build a community. And there are two different value adds. I believe with steady state we're evolving and building, it's really important that we release token at the right time of product. And I think it'll come post product development and in making sure we're establishing something very, very long term. I think for us and what we're designing as something very unique and unique is going to be very, very important for us to build that audience. And doing it too early might be very harmful to where this project can be. Steady state itself has evolved quite a bit since we've changed, and we've gone through a lot of different transitions. What we're doing now is we're putting all resources and prioritization on the dev work and making sure we're designing an exceptional product. We're going to be working over this next month and a half on building all technical documents, and we'll be distributing to our partners. One thing that makes Steady State really valuable is we actually be launching with clients. We'll be launching with clients, and not just with clients. We'll be building product for them. So it's going to be a product they're going to want to use. That means, ideally, if we build this correct, if the technical documents are done correctly, and we focus on dev work and make sure we have all that prioritized, we're going to come out with a very, very strong market fit. And that's something a lot of protocols struggle with. A lot of protocols that release tokens too early, or if they release, they build a project, they don't release project the way they promise, or don't establish clear market indicator fit early. Many of them fail. And we have to remember, a lot of us are here because of YieldApp. A lot of us are here because of Orbit or Equify or other different kinds of relationships we've built over the ecosystem. And so I think it's really important for us as we develop and build Steady State that we build it dev focused and make sure we have a product that our ecosystem wants. So just to be clear on what the implications are, is we're fully dev focused. We're putting a lot of tech documents put together. We may raise a small round, and it's meant to build runway. And token will be coming out at a date after product has been developed, likely, as a way to bolster the community. We believe this is going to be a powerful concept, a powerful application of how we're trying to build and evolve this. And it'll come after we have a strong market fit. So for all early users, you're not just getting a token with not just a promise. You're getting a token with a product that has market fit with a promise to get more market fit and to evolve more. And we think that's really important from where we're at. And that's, we've done a lot of internal discussions, and that's what we believe is best for the product. Yeah. So that's we're still in internal discussions of what the some of those details look like, but that's what we'll be focusing a lot of our efforts on over this next month and a half is all tech documents. So by the time we want to see steady state, there will be clear direction of what's being built, what's being developed, what code is available to actually see, white papers, everything we're willing to distribute publicly, so you can see we're actually building a real product. our goal at Steady State is to build something very legitimate and something that has very long-term value and that has actually going to create sustainability in DeFi. And that's what we share as a team. Is we don't want to just build a shill. We want to build a very serious project that has long-term impact in the industry, and that's why we're here as a founding team. And so this is why we're transitioning to something like this. We think it's the most powerful move for us and for everyone else to really bolster something powerful. So that's kind of the big update we're going right now. But again, we have a lot. We've been really good on the developer side. We've focused all efforts on back end development rather than front end. So what that means is you can't really if we distribute like a how to guide on what's going on with what we have currently, it'll be all code. There's no way to really see how a simple way to really show it's being done yet. But we're looking eventually to get a front end to actually express it more simply what's actually going on. But we will have documentation. We will have an actual roadmap built by the CTO and devs, and what we plan to get everything to be. And things are moving very, very well on the dev side. Honestly, it's quite amazing the work Tyler, Jasmine, and Krill have done, and I am blown away by their work. They've been exceptional. The work they've accomplished is we're way ahead of schedule in some parts and way behind schedule in other parts, and it's just very, very amazing to to build a project that's not just promising something, but like we're actually on the ground doing it. That's kind of the big update. Nothing too crazy. I talked too long, but let's maybe start doing some questions. I think it's a good next step. I believe Crypto Empress will be moderating it. So when we're ready, if you have any questions, we'd like to feel free to answer them.
So my question would be, what are we going to do in a bear market? How sustainable is the platform and the whole concept? Thank you.
So our view is that we'll actually have the technical docs go over that, but we actually believe as long as we're accepting good projects to insure and we're doing our due diligence on our end, it's actually even more powerful, the product we're building in a bear market than a bull market. For you, if you're getting yields and you're getting yield on good projects, say that are profitable, that are doing very good work, what we're thinking about doing basically is like a lot of these tokens that we'll be distributing is very undervalued, and the staking rewards will often be quite higher. So what will happen is if you're accumulating a lot of tokens that are below undervalued maybe to its fundamentals, as well as getting high staking rewards, when the market does bounce back, when the market does come back, you'll have a lot of tokens that are way up. You're getting massive exposure to a lot of DeFi protocols that ideally will be very solid, that will survive anything plus a bear market, and you'll be getting the returns of the growth all the way up. So in a bear market, the amount of tokens accumulated in our model for you guys, I think is almost a more powerful conviction for people to park capital and chill. A great example is Yield App. Bear or bull market, you can park capital and grow. And for this project, you can park capital, let it grow, and you're going to accumulate a lot of DeFi tokens. And it means you get the fluctuation and volatility, and plus the staking rewards and the utility. So what that kind of creates is, as tokens decrease in value, more tokens accumulated increase, plus staking rewards means higher return in a longer run. So in a bear market, we believe as it's developed and built, it'll be actually more powerful. And our clients are not going anywhere. Yield App, I can say others, but they're not public yet. We have a lot of big clients that are profitable DeFi protocols that are very, very well known, some of the OGs. They're not going anywhere. And so if they're the ones building alongside us, if they're the one organizing this, and they're the ones building community, bear or bull market, our clients will still be there, our product will still be there, and we have long-term sustainability because the relationships we have are long-term. And again, this follows our narrative of wanting very long-term investors, right? This follows our narrative of we really want long-term players in our ecosystem, and that begins with what we're designing. Tyler, Jazz, and Krill, and myself are very long-term, and it also begins with getting investors that are long-term as well. So, we're there if we build good product, if we have good design, and we have strong market fit. Bear or bull market, the project's still very, very valuable. And we'll release token when we think it's the right time, and for everyone, if we do this route. And as long as we keep continuing building value, this is what we really need at steady state. Any more questions? And to be clear about how things are moving forward with more community calls, we'll probably do this more normally. But what the community calls will look like is we'll be doing a lot of dev updates and technical updates that show what's actually being developed and built. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming to one of our first community calls. I really want to say I really appreciate this and seeing, we're here to build a community and let it grow. And that's what we want long term is good community. And I think this is going to be, I'm very excited for Steady State's future. I'm very excited for how we're building this. I think we have a real opportunity here to build something really special, and I'm glad to have you guys here part of this community with us. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.